are fermented foods good for you? Are cultured foods good for you? So I want to begin by showing that there's a clear distinction between cultured food and fermented food, and I think this is where the confusion arises. When the fermentation process happens, that produces alcohol, and that is not good. But for centuries, in just about every nation that you go to, and whenever I go to other countries, I always investigate this, there was traditionally cultured foods.
Have you ever eaten something that's supposed to be good for you, like yogurt, but then your stomach feels off afterward? Maybe you feel a bit bloated, gassy, or just uncomfortable. You're not alone. Yogurt is often seen as one of the best foods for gut health. It contains good bacteria, probiotics, that support digestion, help your immune system, and may even improve your mood and focus. But here's something you should know. Yogurt is sensitive. When you mix it with the wrong foods, it can actually cause problems. Some combinations can cancel out the good bacteria or lead to fermentation in your gut, which causes indigestion, discomfort, and longer-term digestive issues. So today we're going to talk about 3 foods you should never mix with yogurt and why. And don't worry, I'll also share 3 foods that work well with yogurt and help make it even more effective. By the end of this video, you'll know how to eat yogurt the right way so that your stomach feels better, not worse. Before we begin, take a moment to comment below and let us know where you're watching from. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Let's jump into it. As we age, our bodies change. You might notice that some foods that never caused issues before now make you feel bloated or tired. That's not your imagination. Your digestive system slows down with age. Your stomach produces fewer digestive enzymes, and the balance of bacteria in your gut shifts. Your body also becomes more sensitive to food combinations. Yogurt can still be a great support for digestion. It's rich in probiotics, live bacteria that help break down food, protect against harmful bacteria, and may even help with memory and mood. But it only works well when it's eaten with foods that support digestion, not block it. Yogurt acts a bit like a mild medicine. It doesn't mix well with everything. Some foods can destroy the probiotics, slow digestion, or cause fermentation in your gut. That's why it's important to avoid certain combinations if you want to protect your stomach and feel your best. Let's start with the first food you should not mix with yogurt. It's something many people eat for breakfast. Number 1, fruit, especially citrus and melons. This one might surprise you because yogurt and fruit are often sold together. You've probably seen strawberry yogurt, blueberry yogurt, and peach yogurt in the store. It sounds healthy, but mixing yogurt with acidic fruits like oranges, grapefruits, pineapples, and even some berries can cause problems. The acid in the fruit reacts with the dairy proteins in yogurt, which can lead to curdling. This can happen in your stomach, not just in the bowl. That curdled mix is hard to digest and can cause gas, bloating, or a heavy feeling afterward. Now let's talk about melons, like watermelon, cantaloupe, and honeydew. These fruits digest quickly. Yogurt digests more slowly. When you eat them together, the melon moves faster and gets stuck behind the slower digesting yogurt. This can cause fermentation in your gut, which leads to gas, discomfort, and sometimes even diarrhea. Even traditional systems like Ayurveda recommend avoiding the mix of fruit and dairy, especially for older adults with slower digestion. Let me tell you about my friend Margaret. She's 72, active, and eats very clean. But every time she had yogurt with grapefruit slices in the morning, she felt nauseous. We couldn't figure it out until we removed the citrus. Once she stopped mixing the two, the bloating went away. She switched to something warm and simple, and she's had no stomach issues since. So what can you eat instead? Try cooked apples. They're soft, warm, and easy to digest, especially with a little cinnamon. They pair well with yogurt and are gentle on your stomach. We'll talk more about what foods are a good match for yogurt a bit later, but first let's move on to the second food you should never mix with it. This one is more common at lunch or dinner. Number 2, meat or high-protein meals. This one might not seem obvious at first, but it's just as important. and it can really affect how you feel afterward. Yogurt shouldn't be eaten with meat or other high-protein meals. Here's why. Yogurt is already rich in protein, so when it's combined with another dense protein source like chicken, beef, pork, or even eggs, it places extra pressure on your digestive system, especially for people over the age of 50. Here's what actually happens. Protein takes a lot of stomach acid to break down. When you eat 2 or more heavy protein sources together, digestion slows down a lot. That means food stays in your stomach longer than it should, and during that time it can begin to ferment or rot. That might sound unpleasant, but it's exactly what happens. And this can lead to gas, bloating, acid reflux, and long-term irritation in the gut. There's another issue as well. Too much protein at once can overwhelm the good bacteria in yogurt. That means the probiotics may become less effective or even get wiped out by the extra stomach acid your body produces. Think of your digestive system like a fireplace. You can't just throw a huge pile of logs in and expect it to burn properly. You have to feed it the right amount of fuel in the right way. So instead of eating yogurt alongside a heavy protein meal, have it when your stomach isn't working so hard. That's when your body can really take in all the benefits. Now let's move on to the third type of food you should never mix with yogurt. And this one might be a surprise. Number 3, spicy or fried foods. Let's talk about another food group that doesn't mix well with yogurt, spicy or fried foods. Now I enjoy a little kick of spice just like anyone else, and now and then a crispy snack hits the spot. But mixing these foods with yogurt, that's where problems start, especially for people over 50. Spicy foods like chili peppers, hot sauce, or curry spices can irritate the lining of your stomach, especially if your digestion is already a bit sensitive. When you combine those with yogurt, which naturally cools the body and produces mucus, it sends mixed signals to your digestive system. Your body isn't sure whether to heat up or cool down. For many people, this leads to bloating, discomfort, gas, or acid reflux, not long after eating. Fried foods are another issue. They're usually cooked in processed oils that are already tough to digest. When you eat them along with yogurt, the result is a heavy, sluggish combination that can stay in your stomach for a long time. This often causes bloating and, in some cases, even stiffness in the joints due to inflammation. This is more common in older adults with slower metabolism. So if you like spicy or fried foods every now and then, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, just pay attention to how and when you eat yogurt. It's better to let yogurt stand alone or pair it with foods that go well with it. And that brings us right into the next section of today's video, the part everyone's been waiting for. Let's talk about what foods actually work with yogurt and support your gut health. 3 foods that combine well with yogurt. Up until now, we've focused on what you should avoid combining with yogurt. But now it's time to shift gears and talk about the foods that go well with yogurt and actually support its digestive benefits. These combinations are gentle, nourishing, and especially helpful for people over 50. When paired correctly, they can help you feel lighter, more energetic, and more balanced overall. Let's walk through 3 top choices, starting with the first one. Number 1, cooked apples with cinnamon. When we talk about healthy eating, raw fruits and vegetables often get most of the attention. But as we age, our bodies may start to need foods that are a bit softer, warmer, and easier to digest. That's exactly why cooked apples with cinnamon make such a great match with yogurt, especially for those over 50. Let's begin with the apple. Apples are full of fiber, antioxidants, and a type of soluble fiber called pectin. Pectin helps nourish the good bacteria in your gut, making it a natural prebiotic. In other words, it supports the same healthy gut bacteria that yogurt contributes through its probiotics. But here's the issue: raw apples can be tough on digestion, particularly as we get older. The skin is coarse, the fibers are dense, and the coldness of raw fruit can slow digestion in people with more sensitive stomachs. That's where gently cooking the apples makes a big difference. Simmering apples until they're just tender starts to break down the tough fibers, making them much easier for your stomach to handle. This can be especially useful for older adults who deal with bloating, gas, or irregular digestion. Cooked apples can help ease these problems while still giving your body the benefits they have to offer. Now let's look at cinnamon. More than just a flavorful spice, cinnamon is known for its anti-inflammatory properties and its ability to help manage blood sugar. That becomes more important for those dealing with pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or blood sugar swings, conditions that tend to show up more often with age. Cinnamon also brings a warming effect to the digestive system and helps stimulate gentle movement in the gut, supporting regularity. But on top of its benefits, there's also an emotional comfort tied to it. The scent of apples simmering with cinnamon can bring back memories of a cozy kitchen, a family recipe, or a crisp fall afternoon when everything felt calm and familiar. Now we're taking that familiar comfort and turning it into something that also supports digestion and suits an older body's needs. So what happens when you mix cooked apples and cinnamon into yogurt? You end up with a balanced, digestion-friendly meal that's warm, soft, nourishing, and gentle on the gut. The yogurt brings in probiotics, which help with both digestion and immunity. The apples offer prebiotics to feed those good bacteria, and the cinnamon ties it all together with added flavor and metabolic support. This combination works in harmony with your body rather than putting stress on it. If you'd like to make it at home, it couldn't be easier. Peel and slice 1 or 2 apples, any sweet variety will do, and place them in a small pot with just a splash of water. Cover the pot and let them gently simmer over low heat for about 10 minutes, or until they're soft when poked with a fork. Sprinkle in some ground cinnamon, let the mixture cool a bit, and then stir it into a bowl of plain, unsweetened yogurt. It makes a great light breakfast, a soothing afternoon snack, or even a gentle dessert after dinner. It's a perfect example of how food can be both comforting and good for your body, something your digestive system, your taste buds, and even your memories will appreciate. Sometimes the meals that help us the most are also the simplest ones. Number 2, bananas. Another food that pairs well with yogurt is ripe bananas. They're easy to digest, naturally sweet, and packed with nutrients that support your gut and overall health. Bananas are especially helpful for people with sensitive digestion. They contain a type of fiber called pectin, which helps support regular bowel movements and can ease bloating. They also provide a steady release of energy, which makes them a smart choice in the morning or as a midday snack. When combined with yogurt, bananas help balance the acidity of the yogurt and create a smoother, creamier texture. You don't need to do anything fancy, just slice a ripe banana and mix it into a bowl of plain yogurt. If you want to take it a step further, mash the banana and stir it in completely. This gives the yogurt a naturally sweet flavor without adding any sugar, which is helpful if you're watching your intake. You can also turn this combination into a more complete meal. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon or nutmeg for warmth, a spoonful of ground flaxseed for extra fiber, and a handful of chopped walnuts or almonds for healthy fats. This mix supports digestion, keeps you full longer, and helps maintain steady blood sugar. Bananas are also high in potassium, which supports heart health and muscle function. As we get older, potassium becomes even more important for maintaining healthy blood pressure and preventing muscle cramps. So if you're looking for a food to pair with yogurt that's gentle, nourishing, and easy to prepare, bananas are a great option. They work well whether you're making a simple snack or building a balanced breakfast. And because they're widely available and affordable, it's an easy habit to keep up with daily. Number 3, ground flaxseed or chia seeds. Flax seeds and chia seeds may be small, but they're full of nutrients that support digestion, heart health, and overall well-being. When you add them to yogurt, they create a combination that can help you feel more regular, lighter, and more energized, especially as you get older. Flax seeds are high in omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation in the gut. This is important because inflammation can lead to bloating, constipation, and digestive issues that become more common with age. Flax seeds are also a strong source of soluble fiber, which helps bulk up stools and makes elimination easier. Another helpful compound in flax is lignan, an antioxidant that may support hormone balance and protect against some age-related health problems. Just 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed in your yogurt can help clean your system, lower inflammation, and support better digestion. Chia seeds work a little differently, but they also support gut health. When soaked in liquid, whether it's yogurt, milk, or water, chia seeds form a gel-like coating. This texture helps soothe the digestive tract and makes bowel movements easier. Chia seeds are also high in fiber, protein, magnesium, and calcium. These nutrients are important for keeping up your energy, muscle strength, and bone health. Chia is gluten-free and low in sugar, which makes it easy to include even if you have a sensitive stomach or are watching your blood sugar. When you mix either flax or chia seeds into yogurt, you're doing 2 things at once. You're adding fiber, which helps your body eliminate waste, and you're creating a better environment for probiotics. Probiotics need fiber to survive and grow in your gut. To try it, stir 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed. It has to be ground. Whole seeds often pass through undigested. Or 1 tablespoon of chia seeds into a bowl of plain yogurt. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes so the seeds soften. You can also let it soak overnight in the fridge for a smoother texture. Add cinnamon or raw honey if you want more flavor. This is a quick and affordable way to support your gut, heart, bones, and brain. No cooking or special tools needed. Just a spoon, a bowl, and a few minutes. These small seeds can make a real difference in how you feel day to day. Let's talk about preparation, because how you eat oats matters just as much as whether you eat them. As we age, dry or raw oats can be tough on the digestive system. They can lead to bloating, gas, or general discomfort, especially if your digestion is already sensitive. That's why it's better to either cook or soak your oats before adding them to yogurt. Cooked oats, made on the stovetop with a bit of water or milk, turn soft and easier to digest. Once they cool slightly, you can stir in some plain yogurt, and you'll have a creamy and satisfying meal that's also gentle on your stomach. Overnight oats are another simple option, especially for busy mornings. You just mix dry oats with yogurt and a little liquid, like water or almond milk, and let it sit in the fridge overnight. By morning, the oats are soft and the flavors have come together nicely. You can add cinnamon, ground flaxseed, or some stewed fruit for extra fiber and flavor. It's a balanced, gut-friendly breakfast that doesn't take much effort. Let me give you an example. Evelyn, a woman in her 70s from Michigan, told me she had stopped eating oats because they made her feel bloated. I asked how she was preparing them. Turns out she was eating dry instant oats with cold milk. We made a small change. She started cooking her oats and mixing them with plain yogurt, cinnamon, and stewed apples. 2 weeks later, she told me her digestion was much better, she had more energy, and she even felt mentally sharper. It's a good reminder that how we prepare food can affect how we feel, not just physically, but mentally too. So next time you reach for yogurt, try adding a scoop of warm oats, or make a jar of overnight oats the night before. You'll be giving your body prebiotics and fiber, and you'll be eating real food that supports your system. This isn't about trends or expensive supplements. It's about using simple, everyday foods in a way that works with your body. Before we finish, I just want to take a quiet moment with you, not to teach, but to acknowledge something. For many of us, food isn't just fuel, it's comfort, it's memory, it's tradition, but sometimes it also brings confusion, especially when our bodies start reacting differently than they used to. If you've ever felt discouraged because something healthy didn't sit well with you, you're not alone and you're not doing anything wrong. Our bodies change as we get older, and those changes are telling us to slow down and make small adjustments. That's not a setback, it's an opportunity to treat our bodies with more care. Here's a quick recap. We covered 3 foods you should avoid mixing with yogurt: citrus and melons because of their acidity and fast digestion, meat and heavy proteins, which can slow down your system, and spicy or fried foods, which can confuse digestion. Then we looked at 3 better options: cooked apples with cinnamon for warmth and fiber, ground flaxseed or chia seeds for healthy fats and digestive support, and cooked or soaked oats for steady energy and gut health. These aren't major overhauls, they're small changes that can help you feel better one meal at a time. So tomorrow morning, when you walk into your kitchen, I hope you feel more confident and more at ease. You deserve to enjoy the food you eat and to trust that it's helping your body. And if this helped you or made something click, feel free to share it with someone you care about. Maybe a friend, a sibling, or a neighbor who might be going through the same thing.